The English Channel, stretching 560 kilometres between Dover and Land's End. 75,000 square kilometres of sea, separating Britain from mainland Europe. 1 billion tonnes of marine traffic each year. Once a historic naval battleground, now the world's busiest waterway. On the front line,
Coast Guard Rescue.
elite teams, enforcing order and combating disaster as they police, patrol and rescue in the Channel 24/7.
Can you just give us an update on the casualties condition?
Coming up, it's red alert for the RNLI in a dramatic nighttime Channel rescue.
Lee, we need to get him off.
I know we do.
Urgently.
A desperate bid to save a 5-year-old boy and his father cut off by the tide.
Can you come over here and grab in this? Do you want to get into there?
Trouble at sea for the crew of a Dutch trawler.
Fail. Fail.
And a day out on the beach ends in disaster.
He's complaining of neck pain. What I don't want to do is put him in a wheelchair.
It's almost 11 p.m. In Dover, the Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre is taking an emergency call from a container ship 20 kilometres out in the Channel.
So what assistance do you require?
Yes, please, I need your help. So please send a helicopter for my wisdom.
Okay, sir, calm down. What is the nature of your distress?
My one crew ill, sleep on the deck. So please send a helicopter at once.
Sir, stop. I know you need a helicopter. Slow down.
The crew lost control, bleeding.
Yeah, get him onto Channel 84, will you?
Watch manager Frank O'Neill must now control and coordinate the operation. While a search and rescue helicopter is located, he scrambles the closest emergency team, Dover RNLI.
It's a medivac. Someone on the ship's got a serious head injury.
Whereabouts is it?
Tony wasn't sure, but I presume it's the Southwest Lane.
In just 10 minutes, coxswain Stuart Richardson and his team are launching their 17-metre all-weather lifeboat.
An update from the Coast Guard now that the guy's now unconscious. We're going to rendezvous with the ship. He's about 12 miles and he'll be closing towards us, probably about 20 knots, and we can get to him at about 20 knots as well, so we should be there quite quick.
In Dover Operations Room, finding a search and rescue helicopter is proving difficult. The nearest is on operations. Solent Coast Guard helicopter is the only available option, but it's 190 kilometres away. For now, the fate of the injured crewman is in the RNLI's hands.
Want to rig the fenders up, guys, on our port side, okay?
The ship weighs 50,000 tonnes. A collision could cause the lifeboat serious damage.
The crew are rigging up fenders, so as we go alongside, we can put them between us and the ship so we don't bounce into them too badly.
Dover Coast Guard are patching a call between an emergency doctor and the ship's captain.
Can you tell me what's happened to the patient?
The crew lost control. Please send a helicopter to me quickly.
Okay, what happened to the patient?
One crew sleep on the deck, bleeding.
Can you wake him up?
Cannot. Please send a helicopter to me quickly.
Okay, you calm down. Can you put have you got oxygen on the ship?
The doctor who is speaking to him as we speak now is having difficulty in getting him to calm down. The problem is it's got a Chinese crew and a Chinese captain who cannot speak very good English at all.
Information on the patient is still sketchy. so the RNLI volunteers must prepare medical kits for injuries of this kind.
Jack, you're going to go aboard in, yeah? Make sure you've got the oxygen. You won't need the engine oxygen. I think I can see him up ahead of us. I can see both his port and starboard lights.
Mid-channel transfers are always challenging, but the practicalities of moving between two massively different-sized vessels make tonight's operation even more complicated.
All right, guys, be careful, mind what you're doing. Everyone put helmets on deck, and don't get yourself between the wheelhouse and the ship, okay? So either go in front of the wheelhouse or behind.
RNLI volunteer Lee Hand has extensive first aid training and is selected to be first on board. Joining him is rookie Jack Gimber.
Firm footing first. Okay.
Look.
You speak English?
Okay. Yes.
English?
Yes.
Okay. What happened?
He come down from top side.
Yeah?
Yeah. Only.
Fall?
Yeah, yes. Like this.
How far? How far? 1 meter? 10 meter?
To complete his assessment, Lee needs to discover exactly what happened to the sailor.
They're supposed to have a couple of English-speaking crew on there, but it's usually broken English, so it is quite difficult.
When he landed, okay, on the full, when he land on head, on feet?
On the left side.
On the left side?
Left side for the arm, maybe some problem. And here is open down. It's broken here.
So lifeboat Alpha, I see.
Go ahead.
Yes, we're with the casualty at the moment. He has a large cut to his jaw, problems with his shoulder and right leg.
This gentleman keeps wandering up in unconsciousness. Have we got an ETA on the helo? Otherwise we're going to have to get him off and I want to move him rather quickly.
Dover Coast Guard, Dover Lifeboat. I don't know if you copied the last, but the casualty is in and out of consciousness.
And it would seem probably better to evacuate by helicopter.
Dover Lifeboat, this is Dover Coast Guard. The ETA for the helicopter 2320 UTC. Over.
The helicopter is still 40 minutes away. Until a paramedic arrives, Lee must take charge of the emergency.
Right, Jack, to come down, he wants to throw up, okay? You want to come and hold the head. I'm going to take the head. There. Come here. Kneel down. No, yes, kneel. Come down on your knees. Kneel down. Kneel down. Okay, stay there. You, there. Okay, you, there. Okay, listen. We're going to roll him. Not yet. There. They can throw up and then back. All together, okay?
Leave it again off.
I know we do.
Urgently.
Come here.
So, lifeboat Alpha, over.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, what an ETA, mate.
It's quite a bit of time before the helicopter's going to get here, to be honest, Lee. I mean, it's going to be about 40 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. What are your thoughts on it?
Reach your call, you want to wait half an hour?
The man's condition is worsening. Lee decides they can't wait for the helicopter paramedic.
Yeah, we're going to have to get him off this, Stuart, as quick as we can to remove him from this. Over.
Dover RNLI have raced 10 kilometres into the channel to a crewman who has sustained serious head injuries. RNLI first aider Lee Hand is on the container ship with the casualty.
Yeah, we're going to have to get him off this, Stuart, as quick as we can to remove him from this. Over.
Okay.
The nearest available search and rescue helicopter is en route, but it's still over 30 minutes away.
Dover Lifeboat, Dover Coast Guard, over.
Dover Coast Guard, Dover Lifeboat. Yeah, I'm just sort of looking at the ship itself. She's a well-stacked container ship. I think it's not going to be that easy for the helicopter to winch him off. I'm considering perhaps transferring to us and then get the helicopter to take him from us. Are you quite happy with that? Over.
Yes, I think that's possibly the best way forward.
Yeah, okay then, lovely. Thanks very much. Where the boat's a big container boat, they're either going to have to carry him right aft or right forward. So as it's quite calm, we're going to go alongside, take the casualty off onto here, and then the helicopter can take him from us onto the hospital.
Hello? Hello? Shall I wait for Yes, sure, go ahead.
Hi Lee, yeah, what we're going to do is I'm going to ask the ship to start up again, just make away, slow speed ahead, come alongside, pass you a stretcher, one extra crew member, and then we're evacuating onto the lifeboat, and then from there onto the helicopter. Okay.
Yeah, double lifeboat, effort all received. Have you got a preferred speed you would like this vessel to do, over? Yeah.
Just slow ahead, please, slow ahead.
Stationary ships list from side to side, making a transfer extremely difficult. Coxswain Stewart has asked the ship to move slowly through the water to reduce her roll and enable the lifeboat to safely come alongside.
Go on then, boys!
On board the ship, RNLI volunteer Lee is struggling to stabilise the patient.
One more. One, 2, 3, go.
Fearing spinal injuries, the team must transfer the casualty to a more substantial stretcher.
What we're going to do, we'll lift him in the Neil Robinson we've got, and I'll put a neck brace on him, right, because of the injury under his chin. So what we're going to do is we'll bring that stretcher in, we'll lift him straight in this, flog him in that and strap him using ours, okay? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, look, down, slowly down, down, arms out.
It's now 2 hours since the accident. The casualty is again unconscious.
Let's get him off here. We've just got to strap. Yeah, let's get him and go. Strap him and go. Let's get whatever straps you can and let's go.
He's actually had a fall onto his face, so he's got a neck injury, collarbone injury, facial injury on his jaw. That's about all I know at the moment. Obviously, you know, any sort of head injuries, we have to treat him as it could have a spinal one. So they put him on a sort of a firm, solid stretcher to stop any sort of danger of increasing the injury, to make it any worse at all.
Let him know we're on the way, Jack.
It's still 15 minutes until the helicopter will be on scene. Lee's decision to transfer the casualty should buy the rescue operation valuable time.
Stuart's going to manoeuvre the boat alongside. We're going to be this side of these rails. We're going to pass stretcher across the top, front of the bow here, and just lay him down there, and then get the others across, and then wait for the helicopter to come to airlift him off to the hospital.
You down?
He needs to go up because he's not over the bar because we've got this obstruction here.
Can you two lift it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, straight up on the bar.
So when...
While the team negotiate the stretcher around obstacles on deck,
You all right, Jack?
Yeah, just about.
Stewart must maintain his position to prevent the two vessels pulling apart.
If we slide him to there.
The RNLI train regularly for scenarios like this. But now, doing it for real, there's no room for error.
Just watch it, careful. Right, I'm losing it. Let go, Jack.
Jack!
Yeah, it's alright, it's a bit hectic because obviously we've got the language barrier to contend with. You've got a lot of people shouting and a lot of people trying to do things at a lot of different times. So we're trying to explain to them, obviously they can't understand through no fault of their own. But the language barrier really shows on jobs like these.
The first aiders have been treating the casualty for almost an hour. At last, the helicopter is now in sight, a massive relief for Stewart's team.
Dover lifeboat to rescue 104.
Rescue 104, Dover lifeboat receiving you, over.
Would like you on a heading of 150, speed 15.
Yes sir, no problem at all, 150, speed 15 knots.
The lifeboat must hold a steady course to provide a visual reference for the pilot, whilst paramedic Alf Rickman is winched down.
bit better trained than what our guys are. We're just sort of first aiders, but he's paramedic trained. And then they're just evaluating what the best way to get him out of one stretcher into the helicopter stretcher, and then they're going to hoist him off and take him direct to the hospital. It'll probably only take about 10 minutes for them to get to the Margate Hospital.
It's been a long night for Stuart and his volunteers, but collaboration between the RNLI and the helicopter rescue team has paid off. The injured man is en route to hospital, with a good chance of survival.
So the happy want to know he's okay.
It's what we train for. You know, we spend a lot of time and effort in training. You know, it's nice to see it all come into a good end, really, and seeing it all come together, which it has.
The Royal Air Force, based at Chivenor, is the busiest RAF search and rescue helicopter unit in the UK. On call 24/7, Chivenor's Rescue 169 saved over 300 people in 2009. It's 9 p.m. An emergency call has just come in from Swansea Coast Guard.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
The Sea King helicopter is needed.
We've had a report of 2 people, possibly more, stuck on the cliff at Ilfracombe Way. The Coast Guard have just paged Cliff Rescue Team, so we're bringing ourselves up to readiness and hopefully be able to assist in any way we can.
Swansea Coast Guard, the rescue 169 is airborne. 2 hours 4-5 endurance somewhere on route. Our ETA is 8 minutes.
Reports suggest 2 people have been cut off by the tide, just 15 kilometres north of the base.
People are perhaps unaware that the beautiful beach that they've arrived at in the afternoon by early evening can be underwater because the tide is going to come in, cover the beach, and all they're left with is a bay that's completely cut off. The temptation then, of course, is to climb the cliffs, and that's where the real danger comes in. Climbing a cliff in those circumstances, ill-prepared and not equipped correctly for rock climbing, can be, in some cases absolutely lethal if you were to slip and fall, and unfortunately sometimes during the year we have to attend the results of that.
There's one person in red on the cliff at the 5 o'clock. Is that him?
I suppose it could be. There's one lower as well, with a baby, a young child. That's there, isn't it? Yeah.
To everyone's surprise, the stranded pair are a man and a very young child.
The bloke in the red top, there's no way he's stuck. Yeah, ignore him. So the 2 people are bloke and the child. Yeah.
Having scaled the cliff to escape the waves, they are now stuck.
There is a little bit of a slide if something goes wrong, but they're going to fall 15-20 feet, as you can see.
Pilot Ollie Padbury must maintain a safe height to prevent the helicopter's downdraft, blowing the man and child off the ledge.
Okay, and we got the right guy, so we definitely got the
Yes, because he was indicating to the 2, so...
Nightfall will mean the pair's position is even more hazardous. The rescue crew have to act quickly.
Let's crack on now, so we've done a recce. Are you happy with everything you heard from Paz?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, Charlie.
Okay, winching out. Winching out. Move right, 35. Into the jet out. Stretching right, 10, high spin.
Lifting the helicopter a safe distance from the cliff means a dramatic descent for winchman Has Hunter to the pair some 40 metres below.
8, and forward. 5. 5 good, right only, steady. Steady, on the ground, off the hip, Winston. Hello? Hello?
The pair are visibly distressed. Haz needs to calm the situation in order to evacuate them safely.
Oh yeah? What's your name? Jordan? How old are you, Jordan? 5. You're the same age as my son. My son's called Matthew. Yeah? Yeah? And what happened to you, Jordan?
A bleeding.
Cut off by the tide, didn't we? We got cut off by the tide. Is this your daddy?
Yeah, I'm bleeding.
Oh, mate, that's a nasty little cut. Should we go and fix that? Yeah? Should we go and make it better?
Yeah.
What's your daddy's name?
Joe.
Just going up to a free air hover and a little bit out to sea.
Jordan and his dad are in a precarious position. With nightfall around the corner, 169 need to act fast. "70 kilometres away in the Celtic Sea, the Royal Navy's Fishery Protection Squadron are on patrol on board HMS 7. Working for the Marine Management Organisation, or MMO, they're clamping down on illegal fishing equipment and prohibited catches that could endanger fish stocks. Spot checks can be made at random. They have the authority to board any fishing vessel in UK waters.
We've got a contact on the ship's head about 3 miles, a beam trawler. We're going to go and have a look at him, assess exactly who he is, what he's been doing. Boarding authorised 0717.
The boarding team are about to conduct a random check on the Aura et Labora. If the crew are not meeting regulations, the skipper may be fined or face prosecution. For the ship's first mate, it's an unwelcome interruption.
The people who make the rules, they are based on information that doesn't come from us or from the sea. They're all made on land by people who doesn't have a clue what they're doing. They put up the rules with us and we have to deal with it.
Is the skipper in the wheelhouse or yes? Thank you.
Jim Langley has only been a boarding officer for 12 months.
Good morning, Jim Langley.
But he's already learnt the ropes.
Skipper, do you have a stowage plan?
The captain is Albert Vandenberg, a Dutch fisherman with a clean record and a strong opinion about the fishing restrictions.
Are you aware that you now have to record where you put what fish?
Yeah. We have 22 pieces of fish. I think it is not workable, but that's my problem.
Yeah.
It's all regulations.
Yeah.
The Aura et Labora is stern trawling, dragging huge weights behind the ship. The metal cables are under such tension that they can snap. When that happens, the results can be deadly.
Because we're unfamiliar with the setup, not sure where safe to stand and everything, so we stood well back here in a high position, not getting in their way, keeping ourselves safe. The sort of tension you get in the cables and wires, it's enough to cause you nasty injuries. So we just keep well clear and under the direction of the fishermen, but it's not a safe place to be.
Bad catch, only dogfish. We must have monkfish, no dogfish.
It's not the species that concerns Jim, it's their size.
There's quite a lot of small juvenile fish in there. Let's get a photo of that.
Catching undersized fish can be a serious offence, as it depletes UK waters of tomorrow's fish stocks.
A lot of small fish. Yeah. The problem is there with the amount of juvenile fish, a lot of small fish in the catch. That will all go back in because they don't want to keep it, it's not worth very much. But it'll be dead by the time it goes back in, so that's a lot of the juvenile young fish taken out of the sea and not being used for anything. So we'll just have a look at his nets and his gear and make sure that there's no reason why there's a lot of small fish coming up.
If illegal nets are the reason for the small fish on board, the skipper could land himself a £5,000 fine. On the North Devon coast, RAF Rescue 169 are negotiating a tricky rescue. Having successfully lowered winchman Has Hunter to a father and son stranded on a cliff ledge.
There's a child with his dad. I believe the child's 5-year-old. We're just assessing the situation.
Has needs both Jordan and Dad Joe to remain calm, so he can get them into rescue harnesses.
Have you ever been on the swings at school? Yeah, you've been on the swings at school? Do you want to go in the swing that I brought down for you? Do you want to try it out?
Yes.
Look at this.
Don't take no risks.
No, absolutely not.
No risks.
I've put my son in here.
Just get him out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Feet through there. Feet through there. Brilliant.
No, you keep us.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Next thing I want you to do, okay, is just put that through there like that. Yeah. Can you put your arms through there? Just that's it. That's it. And the other one through like that. Right, Jordan, can you come over here and grab in this so you can see your dad? You just go and grab into that. Do you want to get into there? Yeah, can you get in that for me? Go on then. You should still be able to see your dad. Just climb in. That's it. Over the top of that bit. Can you get in? Wow! You're hiding in there. Where have you gone? Can you go up a little bit? Can you go up a bit?
You make this.
Let's get you up a bit. Because what I want to do is this is like a safety belt when you go in the car. Do you go in the car with your dad?
Happy with the wrecking? I'm happy to be a bit lower as well this time. I think that would be good.
Look at that, you've got your own house! How cool is that? How's that? Can you see alright? Shall I leave it like that so you can see what's going on? Now, it's going to be a little bit noisy.
With Jordan securely in the child rescue valise, Has signals the helicopter to approach.
Ready for lift, okay. What order are you coming up in? All together, one lift. Let's the house on our way.
A 3-man winch is usually a last resort. But Has isn't comfortable leaving either father or son alone on the ledge.
Can I get that? Can you do that for me? Wow! Right, I'm going to put this up a little bit because it might get a bit windy. Alright, so can you still see your dad? Is that alright?
Just try to pick them up now so we're just getting ready to winch. Okay, winching out. Harrison, move right forward. Harrison, turn. Steady. Steady, manage. Up to hand, steady. Ready for lift on. Winching in. Winching in.
The ascent demands precision from the winch operator Seaweed to avoid any swing towards the rocks.
Top of the arm, bring them on board. Fly away. Safely on board. Close the door.
They've been cut off by the tide, so they'd seek refuge by climbing the cliffs. And you can see in the mindset why they want to do that, to get out of the way of the water, but obviously that brings other dangers. I think in their haste to climb up the rocks there, they'd suffered a few cuts and grazes, nothing that bit of TLC when they get home won't sort out.
Neither of the pair require hospital treatment, so Rescue 169 touches down by a local golf course. Shocked but unharmed, Jordan and his dad are handed over to the Ilfracombe Coast Guard rescue team.
It's difficult, obviously, dealing with children. Obviously, you get very scared. You have to do everything you can to put them at ease, and I think we've succeeded quite well there with the little lad seemed quite happy to enjoy his free helicopter ride.
In the Celtic Sea, A trawler's crew are frustrated that a random inspection is costing them valuable fishing time.
It's all lost money. And a lot of stress.
But Fishery Protection Officer Jim Langley still has a lot of unanswered questions.
There's quite a lot of small juvenile fish in there. Let's get a photo of that.
Jim's concern is that the crew could be using nets with a smaller mesh size or a larger twine width to deliberately catch young fish.
One of the things we look for when we're measuring the net is the size of the meshes. To do that we have what we call an Omega gauge. It measures very accurately the space of each mesh. Can we just wind a little bit more off? 78. 79.
The legislation aims to protect fish stocks and hence the fishing industry. But there's no convincing Dutch skipper Albert.
79.
We have so many regulations. It's for us not workable. You have here this rule, in another area you have that rule, that area you have that rule. There you may catch so many portions of this fish. There you have that, there you have that.
Average of 82.4. 82.4. That's spot on. 82.4.
Ah, that's
good.
Just one more test before the skipper can get back to work. The twine must fit inside the 4mm calipers.
Fail.
Jim takes 20 measurements.
Fail.
The regulations allow no more than 5 failures.
Fail.
Fail.
How many is that?
11 pass, 9 fail.
Check the thickness of the twine. Out of 20 that I checked, 11 passed. If you wish, I'll give you another chance. You can wash it down and we'll check it. We'll do another set of 20.
I don't know what they can do most of it.
Recently hauled nets can contain debris, artificially expanding the twine. That could be the reason the nets have failed.
He's just going to wash his net down, make sure all the grit and everything's out of it. I will do one more reading and see if that makes any difference. But at the moment, the twine that he's got in his net is thicker than he's allowed to have when fishing in this area.
If it doesn't make a difference, it could cost the skipper £5,000.
Okay, when I do it, it needs to move side up and down with ease.
Jim takes the final 20 measurements.
Fail. Fail. Fail.
Fail.
Yeah, it's the same.
I don't know regulation. I don't know.
Okay, mother, Bravo Charlie, over.
Mother, Tony Moy, over.
11 fails, 9 passes.
On the mothership, the findings are relayed to the Marine Management Organisation for a decision.
We're on board the fishing vessel Aura Labora at the moment. However, we've come across an issue with his nets.
The Aura at Labora will not be able to fish until a decision is made.
We're wasting money now. Time is money. Now we're waiting for an answer and we ain't catching anything.
It was 9 pass, 11 failed. Then the skipper requested the final 20.
This is losing time.
Yeah.
First steaming 2 days to come here, now this one. But the trip is going on. But that's not your problem, that's my problem.
After a 40-minute wait, the results are in.
This is Sunray Minor, over.
Sunray Minor, Bravo Charlie.
Roger, having spoken to Mike Oscar Minor, intentions for official written warning. I'll be producing that now. However, content for him to fit a second cod end to replace the one that's undersized.
Roger, all copied. Bravo Charlie listening out.
The skipper's previously clean record is compromised by the warning, but this time he will escape a fine.
He's intended fishing here for the next 6 weeks, so there's a potential that he could well be boarded again while he's over here. So he just he needs to get in and just double check some of those regulations and make sure that everything's above board.
Once the illegal nets are replaced, the Dutch crew can finally get back to work.
Now we can continue our fishing. start making some money, if you're lucky.
The Royal Navy Air Station at Culdrose on Cornwall's Lizard Peninsula is one of Europe's largest helicopter bases. 771 Naval Air Squadron respond to some of the UK's most remote sea search and rescue operations in their 400,000 square kilometre patch. A call's just coming in to attend the scene of an emergency somewhat closer to home.
771. Yeah, we're just getting ready to go. It's collarbone and a head injury, apparently.
A sand surfer has had a serious fall at Hale, just 15 kilometres northwest of the base.
Guy up on the beach at Hale, broken collarbone and possible head injuries, unable to move.
As the man is motionless, head and spinal injuries are the primary concern.
Okay, every skill, give him a thumbs up out to the side. Off we go. Clear across all runways, we're on clear left and right.
Rescue 193, this is Thumbs Coast Guard. We advise you tasked to collect a 30-ish-year-old male. He's taken a fall, blow to the head, he's not moving and delirious. He is with the beach view lifeguards. They've advised me they have cleared an area on the beach should you land there. Over.
Roger, that's copied, yeah, we'll try and land on the beach if we can. He's on the beach at the moment with the lifeguards. They've created a landing site for us, so we're just going to whiz down, pick him up, leg him up to Trelisk, so we'll see what happens when we get there.
Accessibility to that beach, especially depending on his injuries, is going to be difficult for an ambulance crew and getting him off the beach. So they're basically not taking any chances, so get us there and do it quickly instead of taking ages and trying to extract him off the beach, moving him around, trying to get him on an ambulance and then all the skull goes to the hospital.
It takes the Sea King less than 8 minutes to arrive at Hale.
Reduce the speed, clear the door, eyes out to the right, please look out for this landing side. Doors coming open, I'm on dispatcher. Clear.
The beach is 5 kilometres long and surrounded by sand dunes. Finding the casualty may not be easy.
Nothing obvious. Nothing obvious, though.
The crew of 771 Naval Air Squadron are on a mission to rescue a man who suffered a fall while sand surfing on the Cornish coast. He's now unable to move. Fearing a spinal injury, the Coast Guard have requested an immediate air evacuation.
There's a H out to our right now, visual. Oh, good call. Oh, yeah, visual.
Landing instructions are given by observer Dave Anderson, who acts as an extra set of eyes for the pilots.
You clear of the water, you clear forward and down to your references. Okay. It's quite wet, but looks good underfoot. Continue down. Continue down. 5 feet of tail. 3, 2, 1. Tails on. Frames on.
First on scene, seasoned helicopter medic Sam Wellstein gets a quick heads up from an RNLI lifeguard at Hale Beach.
I'm not entirely sure the situation, mate. He's suspected broken collarbone. Yeah. He's in a lot of pain. He has had in the entercots before he back his head. He's had a bit of O2, but we haven't strapped him in because it was too painful.
The casualty injured himself sand surfing.
Okay, so your main pain's the shoulder, mate, yeah?
Yeah, mate.
Okay, so have you lost any consciousness at all? No.
Lightheaded, that's all.
You're lightheaded.
The collarbone is prone to fracture as it's not protected by muscle. These breaks are also renowned for being extremely painful.
Well, I'm going to give you in a minute, mate, something called Ensilox. What we give pregnant women, because we're going to move you, and unfortunately it's going to hurt.
There's an added complication. The casualty, Chris, is claustrophobic.
You flown a helicopter before?
No.
Good way to get first trip, innit?
No, I don't want to go in one.
He likes planes, but not helicopters.
Oh, try helicopters. Right, mate, I'm going to have to put one of these collars on you. You're not going to like me flying again.
Until his back's been x-rayed, the extent of any spinal injuries are unknown, and Sam's not taking any chances.
Because he's had a fall and he's complaining of neck pain. So basically, what I can't do is I can't see the top of his spine. Is basically his key to life. Controls all the signals from the brain and that. So what I don't want to do is mess about with those and put him in a wheelchair. So yeah, 2 seconds.
To fully immobilise Chris's spine, they're transferring him to their vacuum mattress.
Right, how many lifeguards we got?
Plenty.
Get the boys round.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, lift.
That's it, fellas. Good effort.
Air is removed from the mattress, so it moulds around Chris's frame, and that takes time.
I'm not taking that time, mate. We've got tea in a minute.
What's the effort?
He wants us to get on with it.
The pain of his injuries combined with the fear of going on the helicopter is taking its toll on Chris.
Chris has been, what he's been doing is he's been sliding down the sand on a board, and he's basically become a bit of a cropper. He's all right, he's a bit grumpy with us. He's definitely done something to his collarbone. Because he's claiming a neck pain, what we've done is we've had to fully immobilise him to protect his C-spine. So what we'll do is get him in the aircraft, I'll give him a proper set of obs in there, do blood pressure and that sort of stuff, whip him 10 minutes to hospital.
After only 20 minutes on the beach, 771 are headed inland to the Royal Cornwall Hospital, 30 kilometres away.
90%, 100%, so one if our casualties, please, and brakes are off.
En route, Sam continues to monitor his claustrophobic patient's vital signs to ensure the stress of the journey isn't worsening his condition. Touching down at the hospital, Sam updates the waiting paramedic.
How are we doing? I've got a guy called Chris, he's 22 years old. He's been sand surfing, he's gone down a hill, he's claiming a pain in his neck, and he's probably fractured his collarbone. So if we can we have the trolley up to the aircraft? Yeah. We'll put our stretcher on it and then we'll whiz in.
Helicopter flight over. Chris appears more relaxed.
No, I'm coming with you. There's good nurses in A&E. I'm not missing the opportunity.
Mission accomplished. It's back to base for the Culdrose crew. Their 89th successful rescue of the year so far. The container ship crewman rescued by Dover RNLI and the Coast Guard received emergency treatment for his neck wound. He was discharged from hospital a week later and flew home to recuperate. 5-year-old Jordan and his dad Joe, who was stranded on the rocks, returned home safely with no more than a few cuts and bruises. Chris, the injured sand surfer, had broken his collarbone and was later released from hospital. He has decided to stick to football in the future. Next time, the Royal Air Force desperately search for a missing diver.
He could still be trapped underwater somewhere.
A 100-ton washed-up whale causes a stink on the Cornish coast.
You've got a 60-foot whale, which is going to cause public health concerns.
A day-trip disaster traps 9 on notorious mudflats.
That mud, it's really, really slippery. There's a high potential for them slipping out of that straw.
A vintage vessel struggles to get up steam for what could be her final voyage.
And they were seriously asking whether this would ever be moved.
And the Royal Navy bomb disposal team tackle an unexploded device on the Isles of Scilly.
Siren! 3, 2, 1.